Merry Christmas, brother. Hi everyone, let's talk about the Vampire Diaries Season 8, Episode 7. The next time I hurt somebody, it could be you. First, I have to apologize for this review being a few days late. I was sick, so I wasn't able to get it up until now. But I'm feeling much better, so here I am ready to talk about the Vampire Diaries. Let's do it. I don't have any quick thoughts, so we'll start right with Enzo and Bonnie. So you know how much I love Enzo and Bonnie, and while there wasn't like some big emotional scene between these two in this episode, which I guess is a good thing for them because these poor guys have suffered enough. It was still kind of sweet how his Christmas present is bringing her to Paris and she bought him t-shirts. Bonnie, no. Like, I feel you can do better. Maybe next year try harder. But apart from that, something that was interesting in this episode that we found out is that the tuning fork seems to affect Bonnie and the twins. So it seems to be affecting witches and not just the sirens, which I'm guessing will probably come into play later this season. Because why else bring it up, right? There's got to be a connection. Maybe that connection will help Bonnie defeat Cade, or maybe not defeat him, because can you really defeat the devil? But at least help Stefan and Damon get out of their deal with him. Let's move on to the Christmas dinner. Damon's alive! It's a Christmas miracle! Not really. I love how Alaric really thought they had killed Damon, so he wasn't going to stick around that long. He was like, we're just gonna go, because you're probably going to be pissed off at us when you realize that we killed your future husband's brother. However, I do not understand why people decided to stick around after Damon and Sybil showed up. Damon is like, hey, I'm gonna kill one of you at some point. I still have to decide which one, but I will kill one of you. And if Damon says it, it's probably gonna happen. And everybody's like, cool, bro. We'll just like wait for you to decide. No! Was there a reason they couldn't leave? Caroline, it was her place. She's trying to make the best out of a bad situation. But I feel like Matt and his dad should have just left. Like, I will not be treated like this. I guess the only explanation that I can find is that possibly Damon would stop them from leaving, but that wasn't really made clear. So that kind of bothered me. Also, any guesses as to who Damon is going to kill and bring to hell? I have a feeling it's going to be Matt's dad, because that's the least important character out of everyone, I'm guessing. Also got really annoyed in this episode about how Damon was getting close to Sybil, and I'm like, hey, what about Elena? I feel like everybody's forgetting about her, but no. Then Caroline gives him her necklace, and then it brings up all these feelings, and he's like, I'm gonna rip out Sybil's heart. And I was like, aha! Finally! Somehow I don't think Sybil's gonna be very happy about him ripping her heart out, though. Moving on to Stefan and Cade. Did anyone think that it was messed up that Cade literally gave Stefan one last day to just be him and be with Caroline, and then he took it away by wanting to meet with him one-on-one? And I'm like, dude, literally, he's gonna be serving you. Couldn't you have waited for a day before you called up on him? Jesus. Let the guy have his last day. That was kind of messed up. But of course, for us, the audience, it was interesting because we saw a different side of Celine. So she might not be completely evil. And while Sybil was the good person when it all started out, it seems like after years and years, Celine's encounter with Stefan is the thing that made her question everything that she was doing, which, better late than never, I guess. Turns out that even though we thought she was the more evil of the two, I think at this point, probably Sybil is a little more evil than Celine, right? Because Celine is trying to make up for her mistakes. Although it could be the fact that if she doesn't, she's gonna go to hell. So, who knows. And something else I wanted to mention, and maybe I'm reading a little too much into it, but Cade did show Stefan the first time that he met Elena, and he's saying, you kind of ruined her. If she hadn't met you, then, her life would have been better. And so part of me is wondering if the way that the show ends is with Stefan and Damon never meeting Elena and kind of resetting everything. Although that would be kind of messed up. It's almost like waking up from a dream and none of it ever happened. And it's like, hey, we've watched this show for 8 years, seriously. Now, of course, the most tragic part of this whole episode is that Stefan is now the Ripper again, and that never ends well. Cade did make a deal that at the end of a year, he would let Stefan and Damon go, except that he doesn't really think that if Stefan is the Ripper, he would want to go anyway, which I tend to agree with him. We saw how hard it is to get vampires to switch their humanity back on, and Stefan is like, Ripper, so it's like even harder, right? So I don't know how, I mean, they're going to have to work at it, I think. Obviously, I do think that eventually they will be able to bring him back, as they always do, but yeah, I understand why Cade is confident that Stefan will not want to leave. So that's pretty much where this episode leaves us at the end of this year. It's the mid-season finale too, so we're not getting new episodes until January 13th. So yeah, great. We're ending with Stefan turning off his humanity. Thank you, Vampire Diaries. Great way to spend the holidays.